First day of the Optica Agriphotonics Summit, and we heard from farmers, from system integrators, from photonic companies, camera manufacturers, fiber laser manufacturers, but let's understand from the people in the room what they thought of the first day. Today was a meeting in which we brought together different companies doing different technologies. From directed light, Neil, what do you think about the first day of the Optica Agriphotonics Summit?
Absolutely enthralled. I've learned so much. I've met fascinating people from a variety of different industries, suppliers and vendors. It's just been quite something.
What was the highlight of the day for you?
I'd have to say the end user panel. I learned the most from that. Having end users engage us as suppliers is so important to the success of any of these conferences. And this was just spectacular today.
Having farmers in the room telling us what they need from us, right?
It was just incredible that having that exchange and understanding that these are entrepreneurs and people that are interested in fascinating technology. I came here with thinking, agriculture, they're going to be anti-technology. The exact opposite. These are innovators. These are people who really want the best for their business.
Neil, thank you so much for bringing directed light to the meeting. Let's meet some other people. There is a company in the room that is developing cameras for the market. This company is called Exosens, and I'm here with Tina. Tina, how do you think the first day of the Optica Agriphotonics meeting went?
This was an amazing event. Honestly, you guys have done an incredible job of bringing all the right people together who are interested in Agriphotonics. It was absolutely incredible. I've learned so much, and learning about what everyone is doing in Montana and in North Dakota with photonics and agriculture. It's incredible. I had no idea this was happening here.
Tina, thank you so much for bringing Exosens to the meeting. Let's meet some other people. There were different companies in different parts of the supply chain. And some of the companies in the room was for them the first time that they went to a meeting of Optica and interacted with the company's members of Optica. Bob, from Agtegra, what was the highlight of the first day for you?
I like some of the presentation that they were mostly related about the satellite sensing, like detecting the moisture from the remote sensing, and there are lots of use cases for that. So that can help the company like our company to plan ahead about the planting times and the seeding times, and even when's a good time for most fertilizing and other stuff.
You ask a lot of questions during the presentations. What was the presentation that made you the most excited today?
The machines they had about feeling the texture of the plants. So that was ahead of the other technologies. They can just use the normal multispectral things to just get the colors and other stuff, or do the NVIDIA differentiation and other stuff. But this one could actually feel the texture of the plants, and using that, they could feel the nutrient amount in the plant, not just in the dirt, like the soil. So that means that amount of the nutrient they did actual uptake, and how much they have anything's in deficient or good stuff. That was really exciting thing.
Bob, thank you so much for bringing Agtegra to the meeting today. Dominic,
sure.
It is the first time that you come to an Optica Industry Summit. You realize that this is not a technical conference, and people really want to do business together. What was the highlight of the first day for you?
We build 5G networks, and on top of the 5G networks, there are so many different IoT-based devices and AI intelligence and products that are available, so that I can provide, for example, in this case, for precision agriculture, amazing solutions. And it was very exciting.
For me, what was exciting is the amount of data that today is produced in smart farming. Trilogy Networks was presented here by Venky. Venky, you also asked a lot of questions during the meeting today. What was the highlight of the first day for you?
For me, it was about learning about photonics itself and the whole application of hyperspectral in agriculture. I've heard about it, but today for me, it was an in-depth understanding of what it can all mean or what it can evolve into. Particularly this session about the sensors and the differentiation between multispectral and hyperspectral. That was a kind of an aha moment for me to understand what it really means to be using hyperspectral imagery.
What did it mean for you to have an event in which you had farmers, we had companies that are very much into technology, and then John Deere or RDO. How do it feel for you to be there connecting those companies with Trilogy network connectivity?
No, that's a very interesting and exciting because that brings all the stakeholders together. And the biggest challenge in digital agriculture is those gaps have to be filled. There is friction in those in between those systems, and we have all the stakeholders who can all now engage and communicate and connect to solve those problems. I think you guys did a very good job about bringing all the right kind of people to the.
Thank you so much for being with us today. Let's meet more people. We have a couple of more people to meet. Zachary was coming today from a non-photonic perspective, talking about their technology, about Aperture space. What do you think of the first day of the Optica Agriphotonics Summit?
It was great to learn more about other technology, hyperspectral sensing, how it fits agriculture, where Aperture compare with it.
You asked a lot of questions, you took a lot of notes. What was, in your opinion, the most interesting presentation apart from yours that you heard today?
I felt it was Centera's. You could tell how well understood the technology and the problem fit were, just in terms of the plant stands and crop count and the value it provides at different stages of the growing process. Was like they deserve to get acquired.
You deserve
That's
to get
it.
acquired by John Deere. That was really fantastic. Zach, tomorrow we're going to have a few demonstrators. I would like to ask you, is there a possibility in the future to have a demo of Aperture Space?
Absolutely. We already have a functioning platform and web page, but we're in the process of building a drone to be able to take measurements with. So maybe next year.
Next year for the Optica Agriphotonics Summit, we have a demo of Aperture Space. Let's meet more people. Today, one of the highlights of the event was to have a panel with end users. Today we had a panel with end users, and they were telling us from the farming perspective what kind of things they need from the industry. You were there in the panel. What was the highlight of the first day of the Agriphotonics Summit today for you?
Oh man, there were so many things. For me, probably learning more about the photonic space. John Deere presentation was great. Boots on the ground agriculture. So you bring John Deere equipment or green paint in front of me, I'm going to geek out a little bit. So that was cool. Guys from Montana, the drones, visited with them a little bit. We got some ideas we're working on. So we're walking away with ideas.
One of the things that for me was most interesting about your panel was that there is too much data right now in smart farming, and we need to make decisions with this data. Do you share that opinion? Is there something that we can do to make more decisions or to minimize the amount of data that we have?
We can make a lot of decisions with the information that we have. We have to work as an industry to do a better job of collecting the data in a more structured format. So we can use that information to make decisions.
For me, your panel made a huge difference in the event today. Thank you so much for being with us. Let's continue. We are really talking to some of the key companies today and understanding what they do. And we cannot do this without knowing the ecosystems and knowing the region. We came here to North Dakota, but we are also meeting people from other regions. You came representing Montana, the Montana cluster of photonics. Why did you come to meeting in Agriphotonics in North Dakota?
North Dakota is a hub for advanced agriculture. And as photonics moves into this space, which it already is, we heard that from John Deere today, this is the perfect spot to realize the next evolution of this technology. And I'm excited to be here with you, Jose. This is so wonderful. The first ever of this kind of event here.
Jason, you're one of the organizers of the Agriphotonics Summit. What is the thing that made you the most excited today? The presentation, apart from yours, that you thought was the highlight of the day?
There were many that I really enjoyed, but hearing from these smaller startups that say, we've understood the need of the farmer, the need, and we're developing technology, not because we had a good idea in a lab or in a university, but we had a good idea in the field, and we know that there's a market for this. So very excited about that.
Jason, thank you so much for being here. Let's finish the round. There was a person that met something very different in this industry. He came all the way from Greece because he's both a professor and a farmer. Professor Pissadakis, Farmer Pissadakis. Stavros, what do you think of the first day of the Agriphotonics Summit?
It was a big success. Let's say the place to be.
You showcased your farm on avocado and olive oil, and you showcased your work at Forth on fiber sensors. And these two things come together in what you call your own farm and your own test bed. How can we collaborate with other similar areas that we are doing here?
There is always the validation. You have a technology and you develop it in lab, a photonic technology, and you have, let's say, a very good idea about the application field and the prospects. But as long as you don't use this in the field and you don't do the validation, you have not a really, technological case. So the idea would be to more or less bring the technology, shift them from the lab actually early on into the field to see the weak points or the strong points, go back and improve them further.
Nikos, thank you very much for being here with us. You were, in my opinion, the highlight of the first day. This was the first day of the Optica Agriphotonics Summit. Tomorrow we have more. Tomorrow we had the visit to Grand Farm. We had the live demo of Resonon with drones on the sky. Let's see how we can keep making meaningful connections. See you tomorrow.